Hi. Today I'm going to be talking about guns and why I believe everyone should have their own gun. So, right now in the US, guns are a controversial topic, and there are people who love guns and there are people who hate guns. So, guns have been frowned upon for a while now. Um, it's mostly because of the school shootings and all the other crazy shootings around the US. And this is why a lot of people take that in and they just feel that guns are just bad and they want no part of it. So those people, they want the government to come in and they just want to get rid of all the guns throughout the US. So by doing this though, you're going to create a lot of um, uncertainty, and people believe that the people that love guns are going to believe that they won't be safe anymore, and they couldn't protect their home, they couldn't protect their small business, they couldn't protect themselves if they had a concealed carry or something. So what I'm going to give you an example of why guns are used in a good way. So in this article I read, the FBI has recently released active shooter incidents in the U.S. in 2016 and 2017 indicates 10% of crimes that qualify for inclusion in the paper were stopped by a law-abiding citizen with a gun. So what this means is a citizen who had a gun legally stopped someone who was doing something illegal, a criminal, and they stopped him while using a gun. They probably didn't shoot him, but they threatened him, and they did that all on their own. So this percentage is 10% is pretty good, but I feel like it could be more if more people who are eligible to get a gun would get a gun, because they could stop crimes that would happen. I feel like crimes would definitely uh, go down after more people would have a gun in the U.S. So the reasons why people don't like guns I read was in this simple summarized answer, and it says many people dislike guns because they are weapons and weapons are bad. This might sound kind of like an ignorant statement, and it sounds like it's too short to really explain anything, but it makes like perfect sense though. People simply just don't want the gun because they believe the gun only does harm. And I mean, if you have bad intentions, yes, it only does harm. But most of the people who have guns legally are not going to do anything like that. They only have the gun for defensive purposes. They only want to protect their family or something. They want to protect their small business. So it's the gun is only used for bad things if you're a bad person. So actually during these protests, this is recent. During these protests, there was also like a few lootings happening around, and in one of them, I read it said the owner of a Broadway wine and spirits located in the 1000th block of roadway told CBS he and some friends decided to stand in front of his store armed with guns. He said that as looters neared the store, they instead decided to keep walking once they saw his AR-15 and other guns. So this is literally like a perfect example of a gun being used in a good way. There was nothing that happened. No shots were fired. It was just people wanting to defend their small business, and all they did was just stand outside with their gun while the looters passed by. The looters had nothing to do with it, so they just walked away. So I mean, if you're like a normal human being, you're not gonna loot someone who has a gun in there. If you know that person has a gun, you're not gonna commit a crime to them because you obviously are gonna have a chance of being shot. So by having a gun, that just keeps you safe, and it keeps you more confident of not um, being part of a crime. So this is why I believe a lot of people in the U.S. should look into buying a gun. Another hypothetical situation that I believe in is a lot of people in the U.S. right now are really complaining that There's a lot of women out there that are complaining that they can't walk outside in the dark or anything, and it's because there's gonna be bad men out there doing some crazy stuff. They're gonna take them away, rape them, or whatever. And this is a serious issue, of course. And I feel that if those women were to ever walk outside in a city on their own, if they had a concealed weapon in their purse or something, a lot of those um, a lot of those problems would go away. You would have the women who had their concealed weapon, and they would just draw it out if any man was doing anything bad, and many reports would definitely decrease, and there would be way less reports of women being taken and just being raped and all that. So I feel that's another good reason why a lot of people should consider owning a weapon. But all in all, guns are they aren't really going to go anywhere in the U.S. And I feel like regulations. The only thing that could really change is regulations just get more strict, and I feel like that is a good thing in some ways, because there are people out there who qualify for getting a weapon, but they technically they shouldn't. They're mentally unstable. So this is a good thing, but I feel like the government will never be able to take your gun away. So there will always be guns in the U.S. It's only a matter of if you have one or if you don't have one. So a gun, a gun will make you feel the safest, I believe, but it's a matter of if you are committed into buying one or not. And that's all I got to share today. Thank you.